Hi all and welcome to a new video again. Today we don't have a tutorial on how to do X, Y and Z or a really in-depth video on a certain topic, but it's something that I wanted to touch on with you on the other side of the screen, and something that I just wanted to get out of my brain essentially. It's a trend that we see within the software development market. It's not necessarily a positive trend, but it's something that we see happen quite often. And there's also something within the video that I'm going to give away for free. It's something that you could capitalize on and essentially make a lot of money from. So the current state of software development companies, and this is based on, I think it's within the hundreds right now of conversations that I've had with software development business owners or like companies within the B2B tech niche, if that's what you like to call it. And what we see is that they have like 5 to 10-ish problems that they exist within every business we speak to, and like the 5 main ones are always the same if you are like anywhere in the 1 to 5 million annual revenue bracket. These 5 ones are, I've listed them right here, and what we see is that a lot of companies do a lot of one-off projects, like big one-off projects with enterprise companies, and like, a 500, 750k contract, and like that's nice, that's fun, but it comes with a lot of downsides as well. Then what you see is that sales within a majority of the businesses that we speak to is like fully reliant on either founders, CEOs, or seniors within the business, and that is from like start to finish. So picking up the phone and getting in contact with new people to actually like the final steps of the contract and like collecting money and whatever it is. Then on top of that, there is, due to them doing a lot of one-off projects, just not enough recurring revenue, and that is something that you need. Like you need the base, like the recurring base, to actually scale your business and to get a bigger valuation, be able to exit, be able to sell, whatever your end goal is, but you need more revenue. And that's something that we hear a lot of businesses talk about, that they miss that, like they are dying for more revenue, essentially, recurring revenue that is, because it's that important for your business, because it gives you a lot of possibilities and a lot of mental freedom, essentially. Then they get into the endless loop of hiring new salespeople or working with consultants to scale their like sales and their business development opportunities and operations. And this is, you can do this, but first of all, you need to have the lead flow to even hire like salespeople. You can't expect to hire someone for sales coming into your business and them taking like full responsibility on like starting your business development opportunities. They can't do it on their own. Like getting new clients and setting up a consistent and reliable like revenue generating machine takes way more work than just having one sales guy making some phone calls. It goes from like your go-to market and your lead gen and the case studies that you collect, the transformations, all the way to your scaling strategy. And one sales guy or 2 sales guys can't do it on their own, because they are sales guys and they don't have experience in like all of the other stuff that you need to get dialed in order to actually make new sales. Then at last, the over-reliance on one or a few key clients. Like this usually happens with like government sort of clients, like big agencies, like immigration or whatever. They usually tend to have a lot of budget, and it's nice to have one of them in the door, but you please make sure that you're not reliant on them, because if that happens, of course you'll do your utmost to keep them happy and to keep them on board, but as soon as they will leave, your business will, I don't want to say die, but it will be bad if they leave. And this is like the typical state of the companies that we talk to, and I think it's sad, because it's quite easily preventable and changeable. Especially where we see software development companies go in the future is transitioning into a role of a technology partner. So you're not just like a service provider, like, okay, I'll develop this and you hand me a bag of money, but you will partner with companies in order to actually handle their like entire technical back end if they don't have their own internal team. And then still you can partner with companies as an addition to their team and to deliver more value, add more expertise, you know the drill. What will happen if you transition into a role like this is that it is expected that people will pay you a recurring amount of money because you are a partner and you have the same end goal in mind. Together with your client, you'll work towards the same end goal, whether it be creating more revenue, optimizing processes, delivering more products, optimizing their SaaS product, whatever you work on frequently, you have the same end goal in mind, and it's a nice stepping stone in order to get your first recurring money in the door. Then people will see you as a partner and value the relationship better, so they will pay you more, and your customer lifetime value will be bigger because you prefer to pay money to an actual partner that has skin in the game together with you, instead of just paying money to someone who will just deliver a piece of software, essentially. Changing your pricing strategy is something that we also expect to happen because, again, this correlates to doing the one-off projects and not having enough recurring revenue. It is really nice to see that big money hit the bank account, and you will probably still need it and keep doing it because it's a good it's nice to get a big chunk of cash into the bank. But as soon as you realize that, I wouldn't call it a broken model, but if you take on bigger projects, you will need more developers, and that is an endless loop because you will just need to scale your development bandwidth in order to take on more projects. So it's kind of revenue will increase, but also costs, and you will essentially stay at the same level, just the business will get bigger and the value on paper will get bigger, but not necessarily in a good way because you still have high operational costs and whatever. The ideal situation to be in and to get to, and that is something that a lot of our clients and the people that we speak to communicate to us, is that they would like to do more on that recurring basis. How you can do that is work with companies that do stuff based on sort of activities, and let's say they handle transfer invoices, or they handle invoices, process invoices, whatever it will be. What you will then do is, if you build out something like that, you have your upfront cost of actually building the software itself, and then you will have a recurring fee into, okay, for every invoice that we process, we get X. And this allows you to get that recurring revenue in the door. So what you'll do is you can differentiate yourself from the rest of the market because you ask lower upfront cost, essentially lower cost for the development itself. So it's easier to say yes to the offer, and then from there on it's just a lower you essentially spread out the bigger fee for the entire product or the entire app, or doesn't matter what it is, over a really long time frame, because you know that you kind of lock into a 12-month contract, for example, and you have you know what kind of volume will be handled by the tool that you will create. What then happens is that these people see you as the partner to, it's in your best interest, just to add on to that, it's in your best interest to to get that volume of handled stuff as high as possible. It doesn't matter if it's invoices or whatever, they're even more fruitful opportunities out there, but it's in your best interest to scale that volume. So the harder you work, the more opportunities you spot within their product to I don't know, innovate or to make the product easier, quicker, just better overall, the more money you will make. So your client will know that you're incentivized to get the best results for them, instead of just here's the product and we collect the cash. So that's something that we expect to happen and what we see happening right now already. And it will lead to overall a bigger and a better valuation because there's more recurring revenue. And from the point on that the software has been created, there's not a lot of work left. So it's easier. You don't need you don't need a lot of developers to from there on collect your money, essentially. Removing founders and seniors from sales and getting rid of founder-led sales, that's again a really big one and something that a lot of businesses struggle with. And eliminating this is so much easier than a lot of people think. I've made a lot of videos on it, so I'm not going to go really in depth in this video. I'll link some in the description or check the channel itself. But this is way more doable than you think. You need some time up front, you need some time to map out the processes, to document it, to systematize it, whatever, but you can do this within a few months, even if you don't have like 10 free hours a week. And if you don't, like, what is the priority? Do you want to step out of the process, yes or no? Do you know that in the long term you will get more money from being free of that process and having the freedom and the options and the possibilities to work on higher leverage stuff? And of course, sales is high leverage, but there are people that can take like 80% of the process away from you. So that is like the ideal and the future state of a lot of software development companies that we would like to see, and that a lot of companies would want to get to. Then I have promised something at the start of the video, and that is again a trend that we are seeing. The market where we at the moment for clients see the best and the biggest results is within like the boring old school business niche and market. So think of like these 4 industries. These companies are literally dying for better efficiency, better processes, systematized processes, connecting like tens of softwares within one backend for them to view information. It's like these businesses really need your help, and they at the moment are, due to them being traditional and due to like a lot of the people working there being traditional type of people and usually being a little older as well, they are at the moment wasting like hundreds of thousands on stuff that can be replaced by tech and will be replaced by tech in the short term. So do what you want with this information, but I promise you it's worth it to reach out to these types of businesses, because they need your help and they have a dying need for a good solution to their problems. So that's it for today. No real how-to, no tutorial like I mentioned at the start, but I hope maybe you recognize yourself in the top one. Maybe you're anywhere in the middle transitioning into something like this. Maybe you are already a company that's identifying as this structure. Then well done. I think you have found your benefits in a model like that. If you want any advise or do some sparring on what I've just mentioned, feel free to reach out. Happy to have some contact, and for now I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for your time.